Welcome back to TakeApart. Today I'll show you how to update firmware on HackRF Portapack H2 Plus to the latest version 2.0.0. So you will need micro USB cable, plug it into HackRF Portapack H2 Plus, and don't forget to put it in HackRF mode so that your computing device can send commands to HackRF board. Let me plug another end of USB cable to my computing device and also remove micro SD card, as firmware update does come with new files too. If you're interested, I have 16GB Panasonic SD card, so I will pair it with adapter and stick it in my computing device. Let's jump to source of Mayhem firmware on GitHub, link is in description. Scroll down to releases and click on latest. This is probably the biggest update yet. In version 2.0 are apps stored on SD card so that even more apps can be stored in device. They finally managed to do web interface and easy update via Chromium browser. I will open this link in new tab as we will look into it later. If you want to see all new changes in version 2.0, just pause the video. It is huge list and also very interesting. Please make sure to subscribe and also check my other hacking videos, HackRF related or even videos with flipperzero. Alright, download .zip file of firmware and .zip file of copy to SD card. Then unzip firmware file and open terminal, add folder, paste this command and hit enter. By the way, you can find it in description below. Few seconds later, new firmware is installed. Close terminal and delete folders. Now unzip copy to SD card folder and drag and drop all content to HackRF SD card. I usually do merge all. With new firmware, we should be able to update firmware way easier using browser application, but also this method will stay the same if you for any reason decide not use the browser. Once done, delete folders and unmount SD card. Disconnect HackRF and check new boot screen. Cool. Now let's insert SD card and I'll reboot so that you can see it one more time with my splash screen. It is really nice touch up. So, for browser app, you have to connect it with USB cable and here it is, HackRF.app. I already bookmarked it. Click connect device and it should display your Portapack screen so that you can control it via web browser. Here is a refresh button as feed is not live. It refreshes strangely, so for now you have to click refresh after every click. Down here is folder structure that you can also interact with. And on the bottom is firmware upgrade button. But first, let me show you controls. You can use arrows or simply click on screen. Well, plus hit refresh. Let's see ADSB app. These two buttons are rotating knob. I know, they looks like undo and redo, but yeah, it all just started, so let's give them few more months to make it better. Let's check firmware update via browser. Click manage firmware. Here are stable and nightly releases. I have 2.0, so I'll try nightly and it started doing something, but no change. Well, as I said, let's wait for future updates and improvements. I believe it will be way better. Alright, here is Mayhem 2.0 menu is darker and apps are where they supposed to be. In settings we can change menu color with these three values. I just leave it dark. And also now you can control brightness with little sun icon on the top right. You can cycle between few presets. Once again, massive thanks to the team behind Mayhem firmware. Version 2.0 is best so far. And yeah, thanks for watching and see you next time.